Hello everyone, and welcome to Judy's Creations in Crochet. And today is October the 6th, 2022, the beginning of a new month and the end of all of my potiversary and birthday celebrations. So things are going to quiet down just a little bit. And Kiki has come along to welcome in the new month with us. And once again, I used minis that I had in my stash. I believe one was sparkly and one wasn't, and I put the two of them together. One skein was tones of orangish red, and the other one had yellows and greens and a little bit of orangey in it as well. So here is her October dress, and she says, hello and welcome to fall. She's ready for fall. So we'll put her up here out of the way because I have lots of things in front of me here today. So first, I want to say hello and welcome to new viewers. I'm up to 467 now, not far from my 500, my goal. And also, I want to warmly welcome back all my loyal viewers who come and watch me week after week. I am so glad to have you all here with me. So, and my channel, for those that are new, is mostly about finished objects and hand-dyed yarn or gradient cakes as well. I have quite a bit of that, and I'm actually working with one right now. So sorry if I seem distracted. My little furry friend seems to be a little bit on edge walking around. I think all of the busyness the last couple of days have kind of unsettled him. He's found a place to sit down and relax, so we're fine. So today I'm going to start first by talking about the comments last week, because I particularly ask you to think about what I've been doing and what you enjoy and what you might not like and how I might make changes, because I like to reflect at the end of a year, and it's not the calendar year end, but it was the end of a year for me on YouTube, and I really wanted to get some feedback. And the feedback, I am very, very pleased to say, was very, very positive. You seem to enjoy what I am bringing you week after week, and particularly liked seeing hand-dyed yarns, which I wasn't sure of, because I know a lot of you, hand-dyed yarns are not in the budget, or possibly you're thinking most hand-dyed yarns are thin weight, like fingering or lace, and you don't work with those, you prefer the heavier weights. But you can get hand-dyed yarns in a number 4 worsted weight and DKs. There's plenty of those out there as well. But I realize, it might not be in your pocketbook. But despite that, you seem to enjoy seeing what I have. And I get the feeling some of you would like to have it, so you enjoyed the opportunity to win some hand-dyed yarn this past month. And there will be more in the future. And the other thing, so I'm going to make maybe what I call a couple of changes, and one of them has to do with a comment that you like seeing finished objects. You like seeing my finished objects and your finished objects. And I think that means I need to show more of your finished objects. So that's where I'm going to start. I already have, maybe 3 or 4 of you that have recently sent me pictures of things you have done. And I'm going to put out a call for more of you to send me pictures of your finished objects. I am going to do what I'm going to call a slideshow. I'm going to show your finished objects at the end of October. And I think I may try to do it once a month. We'll see how it goes, how many I get. I don't have to have, a half an hour full of it, but I'd like to have enough to make it worthwhile. And I already think I have a good start on that for October. So if you have any finished objects, whether recent or past, and would like to send them, and although I am a crochet channel, I do recognize that some of you, your main thing is knitting. So I'm happy to show both crochet and knitting objects in my monthly slideshows. So the end of October, keep that in mind. I need it a little before that so I can prepare it. And the other thing to keep in mind is I still have one more season in my seasonal Yarny YouTube. Winter will be here before we know it. And in December, I believe in December it's the 21st, I'll be doing a winter Yarny YouTube video, which I have to tape the week before that. So by the middle of December, if you have something that's particularly wintry, whether in weight or color or whatever, maybe it's even Christmas. To me, winter means Christmas. I would love to see those items as well. Now you have a little longer to send those to me. And as you know, I always show what my viewers have done on my Yarny YouTube hop. And I went and checked out most of the people on the YouTube hop for fall. And I'm the only creator that does that. But I think, I'm here because of you. And I want to share what you do too. So you're my supporters and I want to support you in what you do. So I love having your pictures to show. So just keep those in mind. I'll keep reminding you of them as the time goes on. So you can count on late at the very end of October. This is the 6th and 27th of October would be the end, 3 weeks from now. I'll be showing your work. The other thing I took away from that is this. As you know, I have all of the items I make to sell on Facebook. And my hope is that some of you do go to my business Facebook page and see what I have there. Now, as crocheters, you may not want to buy any, but I have had 1 or 2 requests. And some of you may not crochet or don't crochet the things that I do and would be interested in purchasing them. It's like other creators telling you they have an Etsy page. I don't have an Etsy page, and I'm not going to go to the bother of creating an Etsy page. I have a business Facebook page instead. But one viewer did point out to me that she is not on Facebook. And I realized that does cause a problem, especially if you're interested in something that I show. Well, if I ever show anything in any of my videos, please just comment in the video or send me an email. My email is always in the description box below, and say, I'm kind of interested in that shawl or poncho or scarf that you showed in the video this week. And ask about it, and we'll work something out. But because of that comment, and because some of you are fairly new and haven't seen all the things, although if you go back into any of my previous videos and see something you like, you just need to comment on that video, or in the email say video number 23 or whatever, my number, that you saw something you liked. But I think what I am going to do, possibly every month or maybe every 6 weeks or so, I'm going to do a slideshow of some of the items I have made. So for instance, maybe in the middle of November, I'll do a slideshow showing you all the shawls that I have. And I'll try to number them, or when I'm talking about them, tell you the pattern somehow that will help you identify it. And if you see something you like, you can let me know. Or maybe in November I'll do ponchos instead, since it is that time of year. And maybe in the middle of January, I'll do a whole slideshow of shawls, and in another month I'll do a whole slideshow of these what I call fashion scarves. I think I might do that, and I won't be able to show all of them, but I might show about a dozen at a time for you to see. For those that aren't able to go to Facebook or don't feel like going back to all my old videos and would like to see what I've done, I'll do that. And it's not that I'm saying you have to purchase something, but just in case you are interested, and somebody indicated they would like to see my work, but they don't have Facebook, so I'll do that. It gives me something to do, and it shows you what you haven't already seen. And I know myself, I like to sit and watch lots of, like with Rose, I watch the month she shows about 4 videos of shawls, and I love watching it. So I hope you enjoy that coming up. Tell me what you think. So, moving on then, one last thing from last week's video is to announce the winner. Remember, we had this yarn up for grabs, and you had to say Amelie. It is a cotton. It is a DK weight. And the winner of this yarn, plus some goodies, right here. Congratulations, Susan. Susan W., a regular follower who is from the BC area. So another Canadian. Congratulations, Susan. And I mailed out all the others. They're all gone except this one. I went to the post office and I held up a line of people for about a half an hour, mailing out 7 boxes at once. And they went to, well, one was in Canada, several were in the US, one went to Costa Rica, and one went to Ireland. So all over the place. And that was pretty exciting for me. And I hope you enjoyed the month of giveaways, which ends with this one. And Susan, you need to send me an email. I know you've emailed me before, so you can email me with your complete mailing address, and I'll get this off to you as quickly as I can. So that ends everything about last week and gets us caught up. So now our usual thing is to talk about FOs. Now I want to remind you, I have one finished object that I did do last week, but that room behind this wall got torn up at the end of the week, and Monday and Tuesday I had somebody in here replacing my floor. I'm really excited. I have taken out rug and put in something like a laminate vinyl in there, and it looks so nice, and I'll be able to use it. I'm going to tape some YouTube videos for line dancing, but it's all done, and some of it is back in place, and I'm going to very slowly finish putting things back in place and get rid of stuff I don't need as I go. So that clutter is out of the way, and I'll be able to do a little more crocheting in the next week. So I went into my stash. I still have a good size stash to share with you. And here is I finished Kiki. That got done last week. And here is something from my stash. It is, I know it's a CJ Brady pattern. I tried to find the name and I can't. I think what I'll do, since one of the others is hers too, I think, I'm just going to link CJ Brady's page in Ravelry and possibly in Etsy, but Ravelry for sure. So here it is, the whole thing. And it is sort of the boomerang shape, because that point is not in the middle. I'm thinking it might not be a CJ Brady. She usually has a repeating pattern, and this has an alternating pattern. So I don't know where I got it, but it's quite large. And I wear it as I like this shape. I like what I call a shawlette almost, to make a scarf. And there are a few ways you can wear it. If you look back in my videos, there is one video where I have a link to a lady showing different ways to wear these. This is almost an asymmetrical triangle. I might have got this from Annie's. I will look. Anyway, that's the first finished object from the past that I have to show you. And the other one is over here on Faith. Faith is wearing this one. See what I did? I went pinks and blues, pinks, and the other one is blues. And again, it is a different pattern, but the same shape. Again, an asymmetrical triangle with the points. They often call these dragon's tooth or dragon tail. And this one, I won't know the yarns because I took it out. I made these a couple years back and I wasn't keeping track. Now I wish I had been. But if you can see, maybe you can't get it in the right angle. No, you can't see. It's got a sparkle in it. But sparkle's not showing up. That's too bad. Oh, maybe if I get close enough, you see a wee bit of the sparkle. But again, it's that asymmetrical look. And I'm going to put hers on a little different. They often wear it to the side. So that's what Faith is wearing. And finally, this is a finished object I did make last week before the mess. And that is this shawl. Now, I used a skinny cake. I wish I'd brought the leftover cake, but I didn't. I think some of you will recognize this. I've seen it quite often, this skinny cake in these colors. And it took just over one skinny cake, and it is quite large. I think one skinny cake would do it. Here's the back, see? And up close, you know something? She's got it on wrong side out, and you'll see why when I turn it around. Most shawls don't matter, but this one does. And when I tell you the name of it, you'll know why. Now if I move it up close, can you see? I know you recognize the virus here and down here, and here is post, and they all show on one side. So that's why this is the side you want to put out the front of it. So this is called the post virus shawl, excuse me, done by Crystal. And there is a YouTube tutorial for it. It is not hard at all. And Crystal is another one that does excellent tutorials, shows you very clearly how to do this. Now she puts a row of finished trim on it. I didn't put it on. I'm not into picots and stuff like that. And this is going to be a donation item. So this is the post-virus shawl. And you can see it is very long. So it should keep somebody quite warm. And I did finish that this week. And I'll put a link to her tutorial in the box below. So that's the finished objects for this week. Being as I didn't have, well, actually, I did do two. Very small one there. This one worked up fast. I didn't do it all day. I would say maybe 3 evenings to get that done. So next, what are we going to do next? Well, I have been wanting for quite a while to show you a website where you can get patterns. If you remember a while back, I asked and nobody answered, where are places that you can get patterns. Now, I know a lot of you prefer to find free patterns because patterns can get expensive. I know that you're all aware that you can buy patterns on Etsy and you can buy patterns on Ravelry, and Ravelry has a decent number of free patterns as well. If you do not have a Ravelry account, I'd strongly suggest you get a Ravelry account. Open it up. Doesn't cost you anything to get a Ravelry account. And I have a couple reasons for saying that. First of all, you can search and browse through their patterns and find free ones. But also, I found a way that I can gift people patterns. So in the future, to save on shipping, which wasn't cheap on the weekend, to save on shipping and to make it fairer for everybody, I'm going to do a time when I will gift some free patterns. So if you have a Ravelry account, I can gift you a pattern there. And I know I have viewers overseas that don't participate in my giveaways simply because it's too expensive for them to receive the parcel. But if I give away some patterns, it won't cost you anything. And then some of my viewers, my very loyal viewers that are overseas, will be able to participate as well. So anyway, enough chatter about that. There are lots of places you can get free patterns. I know you're aware of it. Yarnspiration and Lion Brand and Red Heart and on it goes. But I found another place, and I won't spend a lot of detail on it, but I don't think a lot of people are familiar with a site called crazypatterns.net. And I'll put that link down below. And this is a company, I guess, I don't know if you call it a company, but it's somebody who started up this site where people post their patterns, and it's in Germany. The host of this site is in Germany. So most of the patterns are in German, but a large percent are in English as well. In fact, if you go to the page, it'll want to say, do you want to translate to English? But, you know, this place, crazypatterns.net, has patterns in crochet, knit, sewing, crafts or DIY projects, felting, embroidery, nooking. Please tell me what nooking is. I've never heard of it. KNOOKING. And plotting, PLOTTING. I've never heard of either one of those. So please enlighten me if you have a clue what either of those are. I may have to Google it and find out. And what I wanted to tell you is you can sign up for the newsletter. And I'll just give you an example. Here's the newsletter I got from them just earlier this week. And you see the variety. Now, they only send me crocheting newsletters, although occasionally I get the knitting one. I'm not sure why. But there you see a scarf, a big shawl actually. Amigurumi, they are very big in amigurumi. Hats, more amigurumi. There's a wrap. Here's a table runner, more amigurumi. I'm holding it strange so the lights don't reflect. There's another shawl. I have seen, isn't that cute? I have seen sweaters, hats, scarves, winter wear, you name it. Whatever you like to crochet, you're bound to find it here. And I have found some beautiful patterns on this site that you don't find other places. A lot of their designers are from Germany, Poland, I think the Netherlands. You know, those European countries in that area seem to put them on here. Now, the same pattern may also be on Ravelry. For instance, the one I did last week, which is called Galadrim, Galadrim, Galadhrim. The one I showed you last week I got off of this website. I found it later also on Ravelry, but I spent time looking through here, and there are some absolutely beautiful shawls on here that you'll be seeing more of from me. So I have just wanted for quite a while to tell you about that company where you can get patterns. And the other thing I like about it is I'm going to try and open it just so you can see, is if you go on Ravelry, and a lot of people don't because the patterns are kind of expensive. Now, CJ Brady's are generally $4, but let me show you, go back. But the on Ravelry, those patterns can get US price. They don't show the Canadian, it converts it for you. But those patterns can get up to $10, $11. A lot of them are in the $7, $8. It gets kind of expensive when you put Canadian exchange on it. But this is part of my wish list. I'm trying to do this so you don't get... And I think you'll notice right away a difference. The prices are there. They show them in European prices and they convert them to Canadian. They'll put the Canadian right there. Well, this first one is $3.51. The next one is $3.24, $4.04, $4.32, $3.71. Like a lot of their patterns are in the $3, $4 range, which is a lot more economical than those $8 to $10 ones in Ravelry. So I just point this out as another source for you to go looking. You can set it to knitting, you can set it to felting, whatever it is you enjoy to do, and see what patterns they have. They have some lovely patterns. All right, now it's time to see some yarn, and I guess we have time for a couple. The first one I want to show you is from Martin's Lab. I don't know if you remember, but a few weeks back, I showed you these yarns from Martin's Lab, and I absolutely loved the colors. And I was really taken with this one. So I wanted another one, and I don't know why when I ordered these, I didn't order a navy because I really like navy, and I thought it would go well with these. So I made another order. I got a second one of these, and then I got these three. They're all the same, and I will tell you about them in a minute. But isn't that a beautiful navy? And won't it look good with these? I don't know what I'm going to make. Can I find something that needs 5 colors? Because I really, really like all those together. I also like these together. Now, they have a lot of different yarns, but this one particularly took my fancy. It is called a Tibetan Single, and that's what I reordered, Tibetan Singles, and they are, I think that says 65% superwash merino. That's soft in itself. And then 20% silk and 15% yak. So it makes it very smooth. It is, it says on the site it's fingering, but you judge. I'm believing it might be even thinner than fingering. Some of my fingerings are the fingerings that are on the table here in front of me are much thicker than that. So some might call it lace weight. You might want to put 2 strands together, but I can work with this, not a problem. It is very, very soft. It's a nice quality yarn, and that's why I ordered more. I won't be ordering any more. They didn't have any other colors that I really wanted. Maybe red, but I can do without it. Their shipping is a wee bit on the expensive side, but given that it goes right through customs to me, and I know it's pretty much guaranteed it will not stop and charge me more customs, I don't mind paying what their shipping is, and it is really, really nice. So someday, very soon, I want to do something with that yarn. Okay, another yarn I've had for a few weeks. I bought from this company before. It's called Cashmere and Coconut. Cashmere and Coconut. And I saw them on Etsy, and I enjoyed the yarn I got from them the first time, so I wanted to get a little more. And I particularly made an order because I was looking for something that was a green, tones of green and a white in it, variegated greens with some white. And I saw a picture, it was exactly what I wanted. So I don't order just one, because most of the time you pay as much for one as you do for three, and only a couple dollars more for the fourth. I'm not going to buy a skein of yarn that costs about $30 and then it's another 20 or more to ship it. That becomes a very expensive single skein. So a little hint, even though they say their shipping is like 18, 20, 24, put 2 or 3 more in the cart and see what happens. You might find that, you pay 20 for one and 24 for 4. So then it becomes more worthwhile. Well, I ordered these 4 skeins and I like their yarn. It is nice quality yarn. It all feels good. These are all, no, they're not all the same, I don't think. Merino nylon. Oh yeah, they're all merino nylon, 75-25 with 463 yards, so a little longer than some. But I'm disappointed. The picture had white in it. I wish I'd taken a copy to show you. If I can, I'll try to put a picture in here, but I might not be able to get a picture off of the Etsy site. This has absolutely no white in it. It has a bluey gray, I guess, and speckles. And I mean, this is nice, but it isn't what I wanted for what I was planning to do with it. So I had to go looking for another skein of yarn. So as much as this is a nice skein, it feels nice. It's average, really. It's pretty and I'll use it. I'm disappointed it wasn't what I was ordering. And the second skein also, it was pinks and mauves. Does that look like pinks and mauves? Looks like pinks and greens to me. Oh, there's a bit of mauve. Again, it did not look like the picture. It's nice enough, but it's not what I was looking for. Now, the other two were great. Here is one, and it looked like this. It maybe looked a wee bit lighter, but it looked close enough to the picture that I'm happy with it, with the speckles. All of these are the same specs, 75-25. Oh no, this one's 85-15. It might be a tad bit softer than the 75-25, but they're very, very similar. And it has, it only has 437 yards, so slightly different. But still, my usual. And finally, the last one. Now, this one I'm very happy with because it is 70, 25, and 5 because of the sparkle. They call it lurex, some call it stellina, some just say metallic. But this one really looks like what it's supposed to be. And I should have told you the names of them. So this one is called Aquarius. That's Aquarius. And it sort of looks like Aquarius. This one is Afternoon Tea Party. This one is Blueberry Crumble. Definitely looks like that. And the last one is called Autumn Rainbow. So a nice autumn type coloring. Now this one looks thicker and is squishy, and it has 437 yards as well, and I really like it. I don't know if I'll do it as a single scarf or if I'll try to match it with something. I don't know. I'll have to think about that. It'd be hard to match, but I do like it, and it is squishy. As for softness factor, it's nothing special, but then it's just merino nylon. It's not even superwash merino. So that takes care of a couple acquisitions in the last month. I have a couple more, but I think I've taken enough of your time for this week. Those will save for next week. I don't have too many more coming. I have tried to slow down because soon I will be getting the Advent calendar. And I'm just trying to keep my purchasing down to 1 or 2 a month. You know, I always get EFA every month. So next week, what will we be doing next week? Well, again, I won't have too many items finished this next week because, as I told you last week, I started in a group that's testing a shawl for Karen Hooley. And I can show you the yarn. I'm using a Shapeye's Whirl in this color. They only have color numbers on it, and I can't even find that. But it's 1,000 yards. No, sorry, 1,000 meters, which is 1093 yards. And that's going to take me the biggest part of this next week, finishing this up for the tester. I like to start and finish before moving on. So this is my WIP for this week. I have started it. I can't show it to you. I won't be able to show you this for a long time because she does her patterns well in advance of when she releases them. But one day I'll be able to show it to you. So I am working on that, but I hope to finish it in enough time to, I think what I'm going to do is find one skein of yarn I really like and make one of something from CJ Brady that will work up in a couple of days so that I do have at least one finished object I made this week. But you know, I'm going back in my stash. I have lots that I can show you from my stash. So that's what's in the plans for next week. So I hope you'll be back. I also want to wish all my Canadian friends a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is just a North American holiday, and for some reason Canada and the US can't agree on when Thanksgiving should be. So if you didn't know, this coming weekend, officially Monday, is Thanksgiving Day here in Canada. So I hope all my Canadian friends have a great weekend celebrating, seeing family and friends, and hopefully we'll have some nice weather. It has been nice in the last few days. So I wish you all a happy Thanksgiving and that you'll be back to see what I find to show you next week. And in the meantime, happy hooking.